Welcome to our discussion on how knowledge moves markets. In this presentation, we'll explore the economics of information, why, who knows what matters, and how imperfect knowledge reshapes prices, incentives, and outcomes. Over the next slides, I'll guide you through key mechanisms like asymmetric information, signaling, screening, regulation, and the new challenges posed by data and machine learning. This slide contrasts tidy classical models with the messy reality of real markets. Classical theory assumes free, perfect information and instant equilibrium, producing uniform pricing and efficient allocation, while actual markets face information, dispersion, time lags, and search costs. The diagram shows how these frictions create persistent disequilibrium, price gaps, bargaining shifts, welfare loss, and opportunities for middlemen. When one side knows more than the other, markets distort. The slide's visual shows an informed party and an uninformed party, and how verified facts tilt expected payoffs, shift demand schedules, and freeze high-quality supply. The net effect is reduced trade volume as uncertainty discourages transactions and market efficiency erodes, so trust and verification become crucial. Adverse selection occurs before transactions when higher a risk or lower quality agents are more eager to trade. The graphic shows a pool of participants drawn into lending, insurance, or second-hand markets, which raises average costs and drives good types away. Over time, only the lemons remain, market surplus erodes, and the overall market can shrink or collapse without screening mechanisms. Moral hazard describes the hidden actions that follow a contract. When one party changes behavior because downside risks are shifted away. The slide highlights policyholders, borrowers, and managers whose unobserved choices raise claim rates, default probability, and short-termism. That downside externalization creates systemic fragility and higher costs unless contracts, monitoring, or incentives are adjusted. Signaling helps restore trust by letting high-quality providers send costly, credible signals that fakers cannot afford. Examples here include diplomas, warranties, brand advertising, and collateral, each conveying private quality and separating high and low types. The slide shows how costly signals increase observability and, when effective, rebuild trade, allow premium pricing, and reduce asymmetric uncertainty. Screening is the mirror strategy. The less informed side sets menus to induce self-selection. The slide walks through insurers using deductibles, employers using probationary contracts, lenders using credit scores, and letting agents checking tenant history. Each mechanism reveals risk or compatibility, reducing adverse selection and improving market efficiency by aligning incentives and sorting participants. Bad data generates negative externalities across markets. The slide maps how false, noisy, or manipulated information propagates through pricing mechanisms, causing mispricing and distorted signals. These distortions misguide resource allocation, pollute public belief, and discourage investment in verification, meaning the social cost of corrupted information often far exceeds private cost and demands corrective policy. Disinformation campaigns impose wide social and market costs by eroding trust, raising search and verification expenses, and polarizing consumers. The slide links these effects to real spillovers in public health, finance, and democratic governance, and shows how fake news creates a market failure where producers don't bear full social costs, leading to overproduction of harmful content. Regulatory tools can expand verifiable information and reshape incentives, as the slide illustrates with disclosure mandates, audit trails, liability for false statements, and certification. Those measures raise expected penalties for deception and broaden trusted datasets, which increases trust but also raises compliance costs and can stifle some innovation, so regulators must weigh trade-offs to encourage beneficial innovation. New governance tools change market dynamics by lowering verification costs and enabling microfeedback, yet they also create new asymmetries. Reputation systems, blockchain records, and algorithmic ranking reduce friction and support dynamic signals, improving efficiency and feedback loops, while potentially concentrating data power and giving rise to novel governance challenges around access and competition. Machine learning brings a paradox. Powerful prediction and scalability come with opacity and embedded bias. The slide contrasts commoditized forecasting benefits against entrenched opacity and unfair outcomes, and points toward emerging mechanisms like data markets, interpretability norms, and privacy-preserving analytics. The key is balancing efficiency, equity, and innovation, so ML improves markets without locking in harmful asymmetries.